Hello, everyone. Let's see here. I am going to wait for a few people to come through. I'm not sure if everyone got the notification. I know that YouTube tends to be a little tricky with that. In the meantime, I'm just going to set up my lighting here so that I'm not too much in the dark. Okay, here we go. It's been a while. Let me just set this up so that you can, I hope you see me. Here we go. Okay. So I can see the live chat. I could see a few things. Hi, whoever is here. Thank you for being here. If you are catching the replay, it's going to be under the live tab. Why do I feel like I'm glitching? It's going to be under the live section of my YouTube channel, where you click on live instead of video under my channel. There's just so much to speak on today. I just want to make sure you guys see me. So if anyone could just give me a thumbs up when entering the live so that I can know that you see me. Okay, I think I'm okay like this. It's very tricky with the lighting of YouTube. Okay, here we go. I don't want to exit or else I'll leave this. So please be sure to like the live, the video, the replay, because this is really going to help get this video to circulate across the tribe so people, you know, can have access to these messages. I'm here. It's been a while. I was initially called M Intuition Tarot. You might know me from way back when. When did I start? In 2019, I believe. I opened my channel in 2019. Yeah, it's been that long ago, and I had a blast. I mean, this is what I've been reflecting on. So if you have been on a nostalgic journey recently, then I think that's the plutonic energy too, like really churning and making us feel deeply about certain things that, you know, we experienced, which is right on track with the energy. So all that to say is that I've been on YouTube since 2019, and then I took a turn, took a pause. I leaned into astrology, and I fell in love with the world of astrology. I invested my education, my astrology education. I invested a lot in my astrology education. Shout out to my astrology teachers, the Leo King. Of course, he was the first inspiration. I mean, without his passion and his drive and his, you know, if you know the Leo King, you know what I'm talking about. He lit a fire under my butt about really like, hey, are you listening? It's time to get on the path, you know, of being a light worker, which is not easy. Which makes it a little more difficult when you haven't been used to speaking like this and exposing yourself like this, especially online. So that, shout out to the Leo King, shout out to Danielle Page. These were my top astrology teachers whom I really stuck with over the years, where I really learned from the best, I think. There's obviously other astrology teachers out there that I also connect with and, you know, inspired by. And so as you go along, you'll always feel inspired by many teachers, by many mentors. And as you evolve, your energy shifts. So you'll find that some of your mentors that you thought that you resonated with from your past are no longer, you know, you're resonating with you now, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that your vibration shifted, right? So just to give you an example, so now we're moving from Pluto in Capricorn to Pluto in Aquarius. We've been in Pluto in Capricorn since 2008. So let's jump in. The energy shifts are strong. They're intense. For people who haven't really delved into what Pluto energy feels like, oh, this is going to be an issue, but it's gonna be freaking powerful because I'm gonna help you get there. And I feel like that's one of, my missions in this life is I have to go through the depths of hell of the underworld, which is Pluto. Pluto, represents the planet of the underworld. Really go there with your traumas and your emotions and diving deep into your fears and to the darkness, the shadows, doing that deep shadow work in order to rise above like the phoenix and be an example, be a model for people, and not a celebrity. A lot of people as light workers think that this, they fall into that celebrity trap where they think that this is the life of a celebrity and look at all the attention and likes and views I'm getting. I always go back to my mission with God. God employed me to be a light worker and to shine a light on the dark. So I make sure that I'm in alignment with God's will, with what does God want me to do. It's not about the likes. I know I keep saying, please like the video. I just want the algorithm to pick up because YouTube is pretty harsh on content creators. And, the more you help us get the word out, the better our the messages are spread to the collective, to the tribe. So if you're new here, welcome. I've been a channeler, intuitive guide, reader using cards, and then I delved, like I said, into astrology since 2020 when, the huge pandemic hit and I walked away from my teaching job, and it was the best fucking thing in the world because God liberated me. And so if you are losing a job or you are being forced out of a job or a career or whatever it is that spirit is literally pushing you out the door, please see it as a blessing in disguise. It is divine intervention. And as much as it shakes you a little bit because you're so used to receiving income, you're so used to having that stability, your soul was no longer happy in that particular career, job, situation, whatever it is. And so as much as I, walked away from teaching, and that, created so much, instability in my world, but it also was a blessing because I needed to tackle, the lower consciousness, the lack consciousness, which is part of the collective energy. There's a lot of lack consciousness, and that's why we latch on to things. And we hold on to jobs and to people and into relationships and to experiences that are past their expiration date. You have to understand that we are a soul in the human body, and the soul is constantly pushing us, inspiring us, giving us signs, whether we listen to them and understand them or not, constantly helping us to come back to the soul's mission, the soul's journey. And the soul is here for the lessons. And that's when we come back to astrology. So all that to say is that I had to go through all of that. I had to accept that this is the path. It brought up a lot of my fears, right? Like some of you are feeling right now, a lot of fears of uncertainty, of unpredictability, not understanding what's going on. But on a deep level, on a soul level, the soul knows what it's doing. So you have to trust in the power of your soul. This is going to be super, super, super important. So I'm just going to take a look here. I'm sorry if I missed something. I don't know why it keeps showing this. It's weird. I'm really glad for the ones who are here. I know I see some people popping in and out. Totally get it. I know it's annoying with YouTube. You have to shut down the entire app and then open another app for you to access your other things. So I totally get it, but please be sure to check out the replay if you're missing this live stream. So I want to talk about a few things personally, because again, spirit always guides me and leads me towards experiences and feeling certain things and going through certain things for a reason, because first I have to clear my own energy and I have to address my own traumas and dramas and all of that. and transmute it, not only for me, for the collective. So the more I transmute, the more I transform my struggles, my issues, my challenges that bring up all these fears and insecurities, the more I get to transmute that for the people around me, as much as they don't believe in it, and for my lineage, my bloodline. So please know that your work, your inner work, which is going to be really necessary and essential during these times. When I get into the astrology, you'll see that the function of Pluto is to dive deep into the darkness. It's to dive deep into the parts of yourself, into the emotions that you don't like going there. But unfortunately, if we don't let ourselves go there and let ourselves feel the fear, feel the uncertainty, feel the insecurity, feel the whatever it is. Why is it saying it's not connecting to my... No, it's okay. Something said it wasn't connecting. Yes, it is. When we don't allow ourselves to go there, we tend to attract that very dark thing that we are running from. We tend to attract it in through people, places, events, and things. So I had to take a break from social media, and I think this is going to be helpful for many of you, because there is this thing called technology fatigue, okay? There's a thing where you're fucking tired of being on a screen and looking at a screen and mindlessly scrolling, being drained by it, especially social media, being depleted, being just feeling like you're not connecting with this anymore. Like there's nothing that's resonating with you. And even if sometimes some things do resonate, it's still leaving you feeling insecure, worthless, depleted, drained. So yes, it has its benefits, technology, and that's what I'll be talking about with Pluto going into Aquarius. Okay, so Pluto goes into Aquarius because remember, these outer planets, they tend to retrograde. So Pluto's been in Capricorn. Okay, that's the physical reality. Those are our commitments. Those are the things that we've planned out. It's the physical reality. It's literally seeing transformation in our career. Like I told you, I had to switch careers. I was led to changing my career. It's the structures, it's the longevity, it's the things that are, you're planning for the long haul. It's also traditions. So some traditions might have been dismantled for you because they're not working for you, your soul. The Pluto is related to the soul's journey. So whatever is not part of the soul's evolutionary journey, meaning you can't evolve in that specific tradition or structure, then you will feel its presence. You'll feel that dismantling, that destructive nature of Pluto. So from Capricorn to Pluto, from Capricorn to Aquarius, it's bringing up the dark side of technology. Aquarius is about one aspect of Aquarius is technology. It's how we use technology, how we connect it with people. So I just want to get a quick sip in, how we use it for the benefit of humanity. If we're using it to constantly drain ourselves and to compare ourselves and to just distract ourselves, because a lot of people use technology as a form of distraction, then it becomes detrimental, right? So there's a lot to process with this switch, this energy shift. So going back to my personal experience, and remember, this is personal, not everybody, will resonate, and it's fine. However, if I'm talking about it, it's because there's a purpose here, and it's meant to be shared. You see, I had to really acknowledge the fact that I'm a speaker, and that whatever comes through needs to be shared. And maybe some of you also are dealing with that, of that fear of, hey, share what you're going through, because people will need to hear that as confirmation, because they're not hearing this confirmation from the people around them. So my experience with technology has been you know, up and down. We as a light worker, as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, we're using social media in order to, you know, get our message across, which is great. This is a positive thing. But when we, you know, the thing is, you have to make sure how to manage your energy around technology. So when you're constantly posting, you tend to get very robotic. And engaging with so many people's energies on social media tends to drain a light worker over time. Now, other light workers, they're dealing with, you know, with their energy a different way. Everybody has a different way of managing their energy. But I'm telling you, in the next few months, like Pluto's in you know, is getting a little taste of Aquarius, meaning it's not gonna move very quickly in Aquarius. It's not gonna travel very far, but it's still giving you an idea of how impactful the use of social media and technology is on the body, is on the soul, is on the way you're trying to evolve and get better. So I think for me, my breaking point is when I was receiving a lot of psychic attack through social media, and I was using Instagram as my go-to form of posting, which most people do, which is great. However, my experience is that it was draining me, and that people were sending me psychic attack, and I could feel it, and I can see that I was stirring something up in people, especially family, especially people who wanted to get into my business and wanted to know my personal affairs, and who just wanted to overstep their boundaries, you know, and who didn't understand that no means no. Like, if I don't want to interact with you, it's because there's a reason, and you got to respect it. And it's none of your business what I'm doing behind closed doors. It's none of your business why I'm choosing to say no. I don't need to give a reason as to why I need to say no. I need to just respect my own truth and honor my truth. And I think a lot of people found that very unsettling, because they're used to getting their way, which is great for them, but not for me, right? So we all have to be more aware of how we're giving away our energy. It's very important. That Aquarian energy is very heady. Okay, we're going from an earth sign, from a more earthly, grounded, like, okay, I got control over the physical reality, and or somewhat a sense of control, a false sense of security. And now I'm moving into an air sign that's like very destabilizing. It's jolting to the nervous system. So pay attention to that, and just being around people. Aquarius is the sign of friendships, groups, associations, people you think you resonate with. Do you resonate with this group? Again, Pluto's the planet of transformation, of dismantling these groups, of uncovering. It dives deep. It's a uprooting of what's been in the dark, what's been behind the scenes. So we have to constantly listen to our body and what it's saying, even though we think with the ego that, oh, these people were always my friends, or these are my family members, how could I not trust them? You have to always honor your body. And if your body is like, or your third eye, or your intuitive nature, your intuitive third eye, it's the intuition. It's like, ooh, I just got a wave of deception there. Oh, I just got a wave of jealousy there. Ooh, okay, I got to step back from this person. Or you just get hits that this person's talking behind your back, or you get a weird feeling when you cross paths with them. Those are all signs from your body. Trust what the body tells you. Body consciousness is something that society does not want to do, because it does not want to, open up to, because who cares about our body? Whatever we put into our body is fine. We drink, we smoke, we do all these things to our bodies, sexually too. And that's okay. No consequence there. No, your body is a vessel. It's a vessel. It's a sacred vessel. Like, if you don't want to take care of your body, then how can you thrive? So for me, it's been a journey because I really had to, I think I had to go about it the hard way, which is what most people do, is we have to really face the darkness when we're not listening. And so spirit always, would give me these signs like, I think you should take a break, step away from social media. And I feel like for me, it was just fear of, okay, well then what do I do with myself? If this is part of my mission and this is what's driving me. And like, I didn't allow spirit, I didn't allow that higher part of me to fully come in until, I started getting sick again, and I started getting psychically attacked. And for me, psychic attack appears in brain fog. When I feel like I'm getting psychic attack, it's the brain fog hits me, and I'm like, ooh boy, I cannot function. Literally cannot function. Can't do life. So you have to pay attention to how do you receive that type of negativity, and how can you protect it? How can you identify it and listen to it, and how can you make sure that you take the right action steps and really honor that part of you that's saying, hey, be careful, protect yourself, take a step back from social media, let people know that you're just taking some time off. And for me, it had to happen so drastically. And the drastic nature that I'm talking about, that's Aquarius, Uranus. So disruption of patterns, instability, drastic changes, the nervous system being activated, the nervousness, the insomnia, that's all Uranus energy right there. So we have to continuously in the next, especially in 2024, because Pluto will be in Aquarius from today, right? So that it enters Aquarius all the way until September 1st of this year. September 1st of this year, it goes back into a Capricorn. So that will be another shift that we'll talk about at that point. But it will retrograde from September 1st to November in Capricorn. But from now until September, pay attention to these jolting feelings, experiences that you're having within your body, within your mind, within your sleep patterns, within your friend groups, the people that you call friends, the people that you are really attached to, the people that you think are good. There's Pluto brings up the secrets, the revelations. Now, for some, it might not reveal things just yet, because like I said, it's dipping its feet in Aquarius between January and September 1st. So it's not traveling very fast. Pluto stays in the same sign for about 20 years. Okay, so it takes time, and it's heavy, and if you're an intuitive, you can feel Pluto. But if you're disconnected from energy, like as a whole, like you're just not an intuitive, you don't tap into energy, you don't tap into your body, Pluto is going to have its way with you. It's going to make you feel the burn over time. It's like as if something needs to happen behind the scenes for you to really be like shocked into your revelations, into the changes. So for the ones who are feeling this, these are the themes that are really coming up for people from January today, 20th, to September 1st, 2024. So keep in mind, if you have actually points in fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, right, the opposite sign of Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. If you have points, meaning if you have planets, placements, natal placements in your chart in one of those four signs, at the early degrees of those signs, then this is going to really rock your world. You're going to feel it. It's if you have only fixed signs in your chart, or you have mostly fixed signs at those early degrees, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're gonna start feeling Pluto. Pluto's gonna start dismantling some stuff for you. If you haven't been already heeding this call, because it's like the judgment card in, I feel like anyway. I know it's not tied to Pluto, but for me, the judgment is like your soul is saying, is calling, because you have a soul's calling here with Pluto, and Pluto really makes sure that you're back on track with that soul's calling, with that soul's path. So in Capricorn, so let's talk about these energies a little bit more. I'm going to look at my notes here. I'm going to have a sip of water. I don't know how long this is going to be, but I haven't been live in a while. So I'm going to be here for a while. So at least I can, get these messages out, and I can go through the signs. I'd like to also explain the likelihood of these energies happening in your rising sign. So if you have rising, your rising sign, then I'll speak to you about in what area of your life, in what area of your chart, Pluto and Aquarius will be transiting, okay? Okay, and then if I have enough time and energy, God willing, I'll pull some cards for each sign. Okay, so like I said, we've been in Pluto and Capricorn since 2008, okay? So that's been about work, career, commitments, really monumental changes in the physical plane, right? Permanent life changes, like I said, they've been difficult, but it's really, Pluto is about understanding where your strength is, where you have strength and untapped strength and fortitude. So whatever the pressure, wherever you felt pressure about your career, about your foundation, about the structure of your life and how it's supposed to be, that's Pluto saying, no, let's get things going. Let's change it completely. Let's transform what commitment means to you, what tradition means to you, what a career means to you. So today, early morning, Eastern time, the sun in Capricorn at 29 degrees, at the very last degree of Capricorn, met up. Conjunct is when two planets meet up, okay, in Capricorn. So sun and Pluto in Capricorn, the sun meets Pluto in Capricorn, and then after the sun meets Pluto, ingresses into Aquarius. And then shortly after that, a few hours later, Pluto enters Aquarius. So this is why a lot of astrologers are kind of like, oh my God, they're freaking out. Like, you don't understand how this is rare. This is a rare occurrence in astrology. Because like I said, Pluto and all these outside planets like Uranus and Saturn, they take time to move. It takes them many years. And what are the chances that Pluto and the sun meet up in the same sign? It's rare, okay? The sun is our vitality. We're shining a spotlight on something. So it's like we're bringing it to our attention. The sun on Pluto is bringing Pluto into the collective's attention. These plutonic energies where we're feeling heavy, the depths of despair. We're feeling like things are getting rocked, but it's inside, it's internal. But at the same time, what's internal is also being reflected externally, right? Because the universe works in these laws. And one of the laws is as within, so without, as above, so below. So as you're being asked to purge and to dismantle certain things in your life, the more you're creating this room for things to come and land, right? So this is about purpose. Pluto in Capricorn, really, like you're probably like, what the F is my purpose? Because the sun just met up with Pluto in Capricorn, and it's like super fucking strong. And it's like, it really makes you feel like, okay, am I satisfied with what I'm doing? I need to make more changes. I'm here, I'm doing this job, but I feel so dissatisfied and nothing's going on. Or some of you might have completely lost your job because, wow, the universe helped you out there and pushed you outside of something that was not something that you valued. So as we move out of Capricorn for a little bit, we enter uncharted territory with Aquarius. Now, before I get into Aquarius, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to read to you what I wrote. This is when I was studying astrology. I then started practicing astrology, and I started giving birth chart readings to beautiful people who were so gracious and open to learning from me. And I wrote down in my words how I felt the energies of each planet. And I wrote this a long time ago. So I'm telling you, when I look back at the things I did and said, I just like, how did I come up with this? Yeah, I had a moment like that yesterday and today. So Pluto, so I named this document "If the Planets Could Talk." Okay. So Pluto is talking. My goal is to destroy everything that is toxic in your life. Easy to understand, right? Because I was writing this for me to understand, for my clients to understand. So my goal is to destroy everything that is toxic in your life. So I introduce a lot of power struggles that stem from your past lives. Now, because I want you to do your shadow work, your inner work, your therapy, addressing the dark, your traumas, I will bring in obsessive and destructive behavior into your life. So whether that's your destructive behavior, your obsessive behavior, so that you can come face to face with your deepest traumas, fears, and insecurities, and then learn how to overcome them. It sounds so easy when you really put it that way. I want you to face loss. And that's another thing about Pluto, is you'll see people lose something. Some people lose a loved one. It's about purging, losing something. So I want you to face loss so that you can experience transformation and learn how to become more vulnerable. That's the end game with Pluto. Let's get you to be more vulnerable. Come on. Why are you staying on the surface? Nothing about Pluto is superficial. I want you to find deep soul connections, but in order to attract these into your life, you will need to be brought to your knees and rise up from your own darkness. This is your responsibility. Pluto puts this in your hands, not in anyone else's hands. So you see how deep, like Pluto is, like, I remember listening to my astrology teacher, Danielle Page, and she's like, Pluto is like the baddest one of them all. He's like the toughest motherfucker. Like you can't escape what Pluto does, because it brings in permanent changes. Unlike Saturn is more like, I'm like your mentor. I'm about karmic responsibilities. You're here to learn through, self-accountability, self-responsibility. There will be consequences in the physical plane. Like if you don't do the work, if you don't save money, then you won't get money in return. If you don't put in work into your YouTube channel, then you will not gain more viewers. You will not have results, right? It's more physical. It's things that I can see, I could touch, I could feel, I could hear. Whereas Pluto's deep. It's about emotions. It's about the stuff that we don't address on the day-to-day basis. It's about our vulnerabilities. It's about our private life. It's about our traumas that we don't go about talking about on the street with people. So that's what Pluto's energy is. And so in Aquarius, we're talking about how it's time, it's this time of complete renovation in friendships, social structures. So this can be, in your community. This can be an online community. This can be in a community, in a group project, group whatever that you're a part of, group associations. This is about humanitarianism and individuality. How are you stepping into your individuality, helping others in the group? Are you helping the group, or are you helping the group to sync? So you might see those power plays in group dynamics. This could be at work, where you are part of a team, right? Most jobs you go in, you're part of a team, and someone in the team is not doing their job and you have to pick up their slack. Are you saying something about that? This is about also, doing what's right for a group of people. So we're going to see this and experience this on a global scale, where you're going to see a lot of groups retaliate against government, against, people in power, because Pluto is about power, power dynamics, power struggles. People who are in power and who want power within the group, whether that's governmental or within your own group, personally, in your work group, your work dynamics, or within family group dynamics, okay? This could be that too. Friendship group dynamics, whatever group association you have, there's going to be issues there that are slowly going to come up to the surface, and you probably already see this and have seen this and have experienced this. Why? Because Saturn was in Aquarius a few years ago. Before it was in Pisces, it was in Aquarius. So we got a little flavor of those challenges and how people are not taking responsibility. Saturn's about responsibility in group dynamics. But now Pluto is coming to reveal some shit. It's revealing stuff. But again, it takes time. It won't reveal things quick. This is not Martian energy. This is not Mars energy or Mercury. Mercury is super fast. It's like, yeah, this is the message. Did you get it? Oh, you didn't get it? Okay, here it is again. Pluto, it takes time to churn, and that's why it burns. When you're in your emotions, you're like, oh my God, I feel Pluto. And Pluto is literally transforming you, but you're feeling that burn. That's Pluto. So if you're part of these group dynamics and you're wondering, when are these people going to get their just, because that's another thing about Pluto, is it wants revenge. It wants to make sure that people get what they deserve. Yeah, that's going to take some time. So if you're not seeing that play out right now, take a step back, okay? Take a step back and look at how this experience, this dynamic is bringing up your own shadows. So control, fear. So that's the Aquarian vibe that we're in. But again, Aquarius vibe is air. So if you feel a little more, you're going to feel less grounded. This is a time to practice more grounding activities. Really letting, if you're emotional and you're letting those emotions get you into a place of ungroundedness, then you got to really put some practical tools into place. And this is where I come in and I help you find which tools that I've been using. And this is where I share with you guys through my community posts, through my videos, practical ways on how to ground your energy and how to deal with certain emotions that come up, because they will come up. Now, Aquarius, let's look at this. I have some notes here. So Aquarius energy, we all know it's the water bearer, okay? It's about humanitarian, pouring out the water. They march to the beat of their own drum, right? It's a visionary, it's a change maker. So yeah, changes are going to start popping up in society, in your own life, because it's time. And especially in the part of your chart, I'm going to get to the rising signs, which part of your chart is going to require these changes, requiring you to make different choices, because Aquarius is about different. Can you think about a different way? Can you step outside of the box from your Capricornian way of, this is how the way things go, because this is the results it gives me, this is how it works, and these are, it's yeah, but now that's not working anymore. Now we're in Aquarian uncharted territory. The rulership of Aquarius is Uranus, the modern planet. Now the traditional planet of Aquarius is Saturn. We can look to both, and they're both in tough positions in the astrology. Uranus is in Taurus. Saturn is in Pisces. Uranus is the planet of disruption, of change, of chaos, of surprise, of eccentricity, of doing things its own freaking way. It disrupts things. It disrupts the patterns. So it being in Taurus, Uranus being in Taurus, this is about financial situations, financial markets, the economy, the cost of living. We all know that's what society is going through. Huge shakeups. Uranus is shaking you up. Hey, we have to shake things up. A lot of changes. and you gotta roll with it. Uranus is gonna bring those changes, whether you like it or not. So in Taurus, this is about your financial, your material security. I'm gonna give you more information about this. Hold on, I wanna just go to my page. Yeah, it's about materials. It's about the economic system. It's about your values, what you hold on to. It's about the food system. It's about your body consciousness. Yes, Taurus is tied to the body because it's the physical senses. Touch, smell, see, hear, taste. It's about consistency, maintaining. It's about our material world. It's also about what we hold on to as material things. With Uranus being in Taurus, we're being asked to let go of how we tend to hold on to material things. A lot of people are being asked to sell their homes, sell their cars, sell their possessions because they cannot afford it. That's Uranus. You have to listen to Uranus's energy, because at the end of the day, we're all being asked to make changes and pivot, because what we've been doing, what we've been experiencing is no longer in alignment. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't deserve to live, abundant lives. It just means that for now, that is what is being asked of you, because there's a soul lesson there if this is what you're experiencing. So we always need to step into our power and say, okay, this is shitty. And this is not about being fucking toxic positivity. And there's a time for being, hey, reach, and this is what I'm about to say, reach for that higher thought. But you need to make sure that you address the issue, face it head on. You need to face these things head on. Be realistic about what you can, what you can't afford. And this is what the energy is. You have to be more willing to be awakened by what is no longer working. What's essential, what's not essential. What am I investing in? Taurus energy. What am I investing in? What should I not be investing in? What should I not be spending money on anymore? You see, so we have to learn how to be more frivolous, yes, but also just more mindful, because that's what it is. If these energies are coming to disrupt the pattern, it's because they're meant to disrupt the pattern. And I know the ego doesn't want to hear that and doesn't want to face that. And I understand, because I've been going through my own shakeups about, material instability. And it's through the power of manifestation, how to manifest when you've hit rock bottom, how to change your mindset. Your life is not over just because you needed to sell a few things and you needed to downgrade your living situation, or you needed to downgrade your lifestyle. People's lifestyles will drastically change and have been drastically changing, obviously, in the last few months when Uranus started traveling in Taurus. Now, Uranus has been in Taurus retrograding since August of 2023. So this is why the financial market has not been good. So if you're in a space of selling your house, or buying a new house, whatever it is that you're doing financially, Uranus has been sleeping. So financially, it hasn't been a good time astrologically, energetically, because Uranus needs to do some reviews about the financial markets. So when Uranus stations direct, which is another crazy thing about the astrology of this week and next week, because Pluto in Aquarius having Uranus as its ruling planet in Taurus, is going to station direct on January 26th, 27th, depending on where you are in the world. So this is really like, okay, so Uranus is waking up too. Holy shit, Uranus is gonna come back online, and there will be, revelations about the financial markets and the interest rates. And it's up to us to be aware and real about what is presented to us, because there's certain things in this matrix, in this 3D matrix that we call Earth, the earthly plane, that we don't have control over. Other people have control over the financial markets. So we have to make a decision from a soul's perspective and say, well, am I going to let this destroy me? I mean, that's what Pluto's going to do. Anyway, internally, it wants you to get on your knees and be like, okay, I'm fucking done. Like, okay, I surrender. Take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. And it's in that space of surrendering, of being just like, okay, I'm done. I get it. I have to accept, surrender to what the financial situation, the financial atmosphere is telling me. And I need to pivot and see this in a different way. So this is not about being like, oh, I need to be positive about this. This is about, no, I still am worthy as a person. So how to take back your power in moments that you have no control over, within circumstances that you have no control over. And this is why my book is all the way over there. I've been reading the book called Super Attractor, because she's, Gabrielle Bernstein, who is, the master in manifesting and in explaining and teaching it, really says you have to start by being present, and you have to release all these blocks when it comes to manifesting. So there's some work to be done when it comes to manifesting. Taurus, Uranus and Taurus, and Jupiter's in Taurus as well. It's time to learn more about our value. It's not about attaching our value to the things, the material things. How have we been attaching our self-worth to how much we make, what we own, right? Our image, our status, the material, the finances. It's like we place a lot of importance on that. So why do we place importance on that? Because we have a fear. There's fears of lack. Because the more I have, the better. If I don't have, then I'm not worthy. So you see how it plays with our self-worth here with Uranus and Taurus. Coming back online and really starting to shake things up in the financial atmosphere, like I said. So how can you be more in your power? And I'm not saying that this is easy. Like I said, how can I be more mindful and still be in my power without having my finances or my whatever physical reality not being at a specific outcome and expectation that I had? You got to release outcomes. With Uranus, Aquarius energy, there's nothing to rely on but yourself. But coming back to center, the only thing you can control is your response and how you deal with these things. So, of course, it's normal that, a lot of people will feel some type of way, and that's the Pluto energy, where we want you to get more vulnerable and deal with these fears around poverty consciousness and lack and fear-based belief systems that you have, and the fact that you're not at a certain level in your life says a lot about who you are. No, you got to release all that bullshit, but you got to start being honest about what you're believing, about what your beliefs are. So that took a turn, but it's okay, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and that's the thing. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, Uranus, has been retrograding in Taurus, and it's coming back online. And so this is why a lot of astrologers are freaking out, because it's like, oh my God, there's just so much firework energy, like poof, poof. Okay, Sun plus Pluto and Capricorn. Oh, and then they meet up again in Aquarius. So double Sun and Pluto energy being emphasized here, plus Aquarius energy being emphasized, plus Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius, stationing direct in Taurus, rulership of a physical energy, which is Taurus, money. So it's a lot. So it's like, oh, okay, this is our first month of the year is really making it interesting for us, isn't it? So Uranus is very volatile. It's uncharted territory. It really does trigger some themes since August 2023, because that's when it went retrograde. So if you experience, these setbacks with money situations, it stems from 2023, in August 2023, when it started going retrograde. Now, when it stations direct, we will see the outcome of all of this. We'll see what how we have no control, because Uranus, nobody can predict with Uranus. No astrologer, no psychic intuitive can predict with Uranian energy within the financial realm right now. So what we do recommend is take care of your basic needs. When it comes to the economy, there's less jobs in one area, but maybe more jobs in another area will open up. The cost of daily life might go up, might go down. We don't know. Uranus is very tricky and unpredictable like that. There will be maybe announcements about more companies closing, job losses, shifts in the economy, more things falling apart. So we have to expect that. The more we confront these things and we don't bury our head in the sand and pretend like everything is going to go back to the way it used to be, the better you'll be able to deal with these energies. Because there's no point in telling everyone lies and saying everything's going to go back to normal. You guys, don't worry, keep spending your money. Don't worry, put everything on credit, be super irresponsible with your money. And this is not it. I wish it were, but this is not the energy. Things are breaking down. So let's be careful. Let's be more responsible with money management. But again, if you are being pushed out of something like a job, or you're losing a job, take it again as divine intervention, divine assistance, because you're being redirected to something that is more uplifting for your soul. And that's my next point, I think, that I wanted to bring in. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. If you're here, can you guys say something in the chat? I want to see if this works. Let's see. I'm not sure if the chat's going to appear later, but I have access to it here. If you want to say hello in the chat as I sip my water. How are you feeling? Number one, how is everything? How have you been experiencing these energies? Whoops. This lighting is not great. Okay, here we go. How has everyone been feeling and experiencing these energies? Okay, how am I feeling? Friends and networks, yes. Okay. I have notes everywhere because that's how I process information. I take notes everywhere, on paper, on the computer. I'm a Mercury in Pisces, and any Mercury placement in a mutable sign, FYI, it's a teachable astrology moment, tends to have two ways of doing things because it's mutable. It's double. So you'll do one thing once and you'll do it again here in another way. So you'll have two options always. And my rising is Virgo, and my ruling planet is Mercury, because Mercury rules Virgo. So look to your rising sign and then look to the planet that it rules, and you'll see that's your vibe, as I call it. It's like your personality. It's how you deal, what your outlook is, and how you approach life. So I'm very mercurial. Before coming live, I pulled some cards for myself, and when you're doing this type of work, we tend to fall into a little bit like, am I doing this? Am I really doing this? Is this really what I need to do right now? You tend to fall in some doubt. You have to work on it constantly about the inner critic that's saying, no, you can't do this. But the chart says this is your life's path, and then the cards say this is your life's path, and then you get that confirmed by every energy guide, intuitive person that you get readings from. But somehow that the ego, the inner critic, still creeps in. So for people who are wondering, like, is that a normal thing? It always is. So what I do is I go, okay, how to center myself. Let me center myself. Let me ask for help. You see, that message always comes through. And this is another thing with Aquarian energy, is how can you network with new people, with people who are like-minded, who can actually assist you? networking with the right people. So the cards that came out for me was Mercury. Why am I not surprised? It's my ruling planet, and yeah. So Mercury says open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak with love and be heard. And then we have the divine director, intervention. I talk about divine intervention and purpose. So I know that they were telling me here that this is your purpose. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. So it's like, yeah, speak on it because this is your purpose. And yeah, so here we are. So the next thing I wanted to Yep. Okay. So Uranus obviously is something I need to talk about. The powerful influence of Uranus in Taurus since it's entered Taurus since 2018. So it's been shaking things up in Taurus and that part of your chart since 2018. So it's been showing us where we've had to make adjustments with our finances, the way we, again, value things, place too much value onto certain things, but also how to remain steady and strong in the midst of chaos. Because Taurus is a grounding energy. It's an earth sign and it's a fixed sign. So it's doesn't do too well in Uranus because Uranus is all about change and chaos and getting, you know, jolting you into these new realities that are unfamiliar. Whereas Taurus is more predictable, it's more consistent. This is what I had written in my notes back in my astrology days. And I like the way I wrote it. It's about maintaining. It's that maintaining, right? So how to remain steady and strong in the midst of chaos. Because this energy will move into more of that breaking apart. So there's more of things dismantling. And it's not to scare you. It's to say, if it's breaking apart, it's for a reason and it's meant to break apart. Now, yes, a lot of people don't want to, you know, face this reality, especially in the light work community or in the spiritual community. You know, it's all love and light and unity consciousness, and you know, we're in the 5D and we are in 5D. No, we're in 3D. Okay, we live in 3D. We have to deal with 3D reality things. Unfortunately, we all chose to be here. We all signed a contract, a soul contract to be here. So yes, unity consciousness and being connected to all that is, those higher dimensions, is great. You're going to use those energies to stabilize yourself, to find your center, to anchor yourself into your I am presence. I am that I am. So don't fall into these Neptunian deceptive vibes out there, because there's a lot of people that tend to promise more than what they could actually deliver. Everything is fine. Everything will be fine. Nothing will rock your world. We're all unity. We're all part of this unity consciousness, and we're all anchoring 5D. And it's like, yes, we are anchoring in fifth dimension and higher dimensional aspects, beliefs. In order to do that, we need to destroy our lack mentality, our limited mind, our limiting thoughts, the things that keep us from doing what our soul wants us to do. In order for me to come here on live and start a YouTube channel, I had to dismantle a few beliefs about myself that were not true and was painful. I had to really undo that inner critic voice that stems from childhood, that stems from authority figures, from friends. I led myself to believe that I was not worthy, that I was not powerful, that my voice didn't matter. I allowed that. The people that I attracted were just a reflection of what was in my system, and that was not acknowledged. So as much as we want to blame people, we can't blame them when we're healing, because we have to see them as the mirror. So this is where the brainwashing out there, you have to be mindful. Just be careful, okay? Because yes, things will get rocky. If you don't know how to handle a crisis, this is going to be your time to learn how to handle a crisis. I had to. I was never taught, I was never given a manual on how to handle crises. I had to learn, I had to be broken down, and I had to surrender to it. So this is about being adaptable, okay? Because we're in fixed energy, and this is the fear that the astrologers have, is that, oh man, there's a lot of fixed energy here. Now we have Aquarius, and then we have Taurus. Oof. These are fixed energies. So they have a hard, fixed energies are great for maintaining and being consistent and reliable and showing up, right? But the shadow of the fixed signs, such as Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, is that they have a hard time with change, of breaking away from the patterns, from what they're so used to maintaining. So yes, the medicine is being adaptable. It's in being adaptable, because you're going to build from a new foundation when you're adaptable, and you're going to be open to new options and to new ways of thinking, and let yourself be excited. And that's one thing that I see with a lot of people. And don't get me wrong, this was me too several months ago, when I was broken down and I just saw my life circumstances as shit, and I didn't see the way forward. Once you really break yourself down enough to be vulnerable with yourself about all those things, and give yourself time to move through the energy and really move through it, and purge, cry, get rid of stuff, stop talking to some people, start getting more in alignment with your thoughts. What are you thinking on a daily basis? And what you're watching, is it helping your limited thoughts? Is it helping you feel good about yourself? You got to get more in tune with what your body and your mind is saying. So what was I saying? I'm already in Aquarian energy right now. I'm going here and I'm here. It's very floaty. It's very ungrounded. Get excited and be open to the possibilities and to uncertainty. Because you're not here to know it all. That's the Capricorn, right? The human reality in our human society, our human physical reality says, okay, if you do this, go to school, and you invest in your education, and you spend so much time doing this, then the likelihood of you getting a job that you love and that you'll have no problems with is very high. And then from there, you'll be able to get married, and then you'll be able to have kids. It's Capricorn, orderly. This is methodical. Like this, if I do this and I do this, and I will get this. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work that way. I know a lot of people don't want to fight me on it or whatever, and you roll your eyes. It's okay. I was there too. But the universe is going to continuously show up and show you otherwise. That's why I come in and I try to help you ease your way into it, because it is a beautiful thing to not know. It's exciting. I don't know what the future holds. I have an idea, because I'm connected to my higher self and to my purpose. All I know is that I show up, I try my best, I am mindful of what I'm eating, what I'm consuming on social media as information. I'm being mindful of the energy and being responsible of the energy that I'm allowing into my life as people, as conversations. I'm being more mindful of my words, of am I using this time, investing my time in gossiping and talking about people, or am I using it to invest in my business or invest in learning, in reading? It's all a choice. You can do whatever you want. You just got to figure out, are those things helping you get in alignment? And I can assure you that when you're gossiping and complaining and pointing the finger, it's not helping you to get in alignment, because it's putting you in a state of victimhood. And a victim mind, a victim energy, just you're repelling spirituality. You're repelling spirit to come and help you. Spirit's like, well, I'm ready when you are, but when you're not in resistance, and when you're done complaining and pointing the finger, I'll be here. I'm always here. Spirit's always there. It's just our ego that thinks that it's not, but it's always there, and it's always there when you're ready. It's there to show you the way. So as much as we all want answers, Uranus here is a strong energy. This is why we're preparing you. Uranus and Taurus, it's you gotta just give yourself some moments in your day-to-day to look forward to moments of joy. How can I look forward to things that excite me? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to cost a lot. It has to be simple, you guys. Come back to the simplicity. Taurus, one of the beautiful energies of Taurus is simplicity. Simplicity. It's humans that, got too caught up in the luxurious lifestyle, which is great. It's okay to like nice things of quality, right? That's another part of Taurus. But if you're not going to live your life in a place of joy and excitement because you can't afford higher quality things right now, hi, Cynthia, then how is that helping your vibration? Just because you don't have it all, you don't own it all, it doesn't mean you're not worth it. It doesn't mean you can't be excited about life. So how can you devote moments of joy? How can you create these little moments of joy every day? I wake up, I make my coffee, and that time making coffee spent alone, listening to music, breathing, and just being in that state of the now is a moment of joy for me. Smelling the coffee brew or making my tea in the morning, and that's where I start downloading all this higher, and we talk about the 5D. We live in 5D, we want to be in 5D. No, we live in 3D, but I'm allowing the downloads of the fifth dimension to come through into my coffee and into my drive to work, into where I'm taking the bus to school or whatever. It comes in those moments of simplicity, the things that you love. Coming back to that song, I'm being channeled that song now. It's from a very old movie, which I absolutely adore. I love musicals. The Sound of Music. What is that song called? These are a few of my favorite things. Yeah, listen to that song. Simple little things that just, okay, I can give myself those moments of appreciation, of being grateful, because what am I doing? If I'm going to wait, this is what Gabrielle Bernstein mentions in her book, which is so powerful. Like, you have to be ready to receive. Because when I bought that book, I started reading it and I wasn't receiving the messages. Like, I really appreciated what she was saying. I find she's an amazing teacher, a spiritual teacher. But you see, there's part of my energy 3-4 years ago when I bought the book that was like blocking. So I put it aside. I did my other things. I worked on astrology. I pivoted. But I knew I was going to go back to it at one point. And so when I started reading it, yeah, that's one of the things she says, is that if you're going to wait for your circumstances to change in order to feel good, you're going to wait all your life. You're going to be in a state of misery all your life. And you could see that with people in your life, that they're always miserable, always fucking miserable, because they're waiting. Oh, if only I had this in my life. If only I had the bank to do this for me. If only. And what do? They don't do anything to create moments of joy because they don't think it's valuable. They don't think they're worthy enough. Their worth is based on the things that they have or the things that they've accomplished. So download that song. These are a few of my favorite things from In the Sound of Music. How are you guys doing? Thank you for being here. I know you guys are in and out. If you have any questions, if you want to share what you're feeling, it would be my pleasure to address that and to help you out, give you some advice. I'm ready to go. So yeah, how can we create more moments of joy, and how can we look forward to certain things? So you're going to be inspired to do certain things differently. Maybe you'll take an art class or a cooking class, or you'll lean towards a book. Like I just said, like I'm inspired to read this book now, and it's like changing my freaking mind. And it's like, wow, okay, my beliefs are shifting. I'm feeling a rising of energy. Are my circumstances magically changing? No, but it's my beliefs that are going to help my external reality change eventually. And I'm going to allow myself to be guided by spirit. Because yes, we need to take action. This is not about magical thinking and wishful thinking and change. Oh, I changed my thought. I'm good. I'm ready. You have to give the universe some time and space, and give yourself time and space to shift, but also listen, because the universe, God is giving us signs and it's pointing us towards things. Okay, so you want to do this. We're pointing you towards this person who gives readings and who can actually activate this part of your energy field. Are you listening? And you're like, no, I'm not. You see, so the universe points us in different directions because they're people. And again, I'm saying people because we're in Aquarius. We talk about the age of Aquarius. This is Pluto in Aquarius. How we connect with people is important. Who are we connecting with? Are we being guided to this person? Right? So be careful. Again, Pluto also brings in, the primal, the raw energies, sexual energies. So, who are we attracted to sexually is also something that might come up, and you got to be careful, because that darkness is stemming from something within you. If we attract people who have darker qualities or just they are operating from their dark side, right? We have a light side and a dark side. We are split in duality in this reality, in this 3D matrix. We are of light and we are of dark. Only believing that you are light is false. You have a dark side, and you have to integrate your shadows. You have to integrate the dark. And how do you integrate the dark? Is by noticing when you're in your dark side, when you are jealous, when you're comparing yourself, when you're judging people, when you're criticizing, when you want revenge, those darker energies, right? So we're obsessed and fixated, and we want control. Pluto is all about control and power struggles, and sex is tied to control. When people use sex as a weapon, be careful. Let me read someone's comments here. Yes, Cynthia, I'm resonating with what you're saying about creating your joy. Awesome. I'm going to search up physical outdoor activities to connect with nature and create fun. Yes, the good outdoors, God. This is my favorite time on your channel. Oh, thank you. Wow. Amazing. I'm happy you're here. Do readings on lives, meaning on live, like a card reading. I would love to eventually, with time. I'm going to come back and jump on these lives more regularly. During this live in particular, I want to finish this astrology portion. I know it's long, but I don't care. This is what I'm meant to do. If people have no patience, then this is not for you. You need to go numb yourself on Netflix. So I want to finish the portion of astrology. Then I want to go through each rising sign, and I want to give you an idea of which area of life Pluto will be starting its renovation phase, because that's what Pluto is. It's renovating, it's transforming. So I'll do that, and then I might do the cards for each. I think that might be too long, and I might be really tired, and it might be getting late. So we'll see. But maybe I'll do like a general reading for the people who are here, and the people who will watch later will also resonate, right? It's a general collective reading. So we'll see. But I will be back to do more sign readings eventually. Yes, I'd like to do that. Yeah, I love that you love astrology. And this is something that I encourage, because Aquarius energy is about science, experiments, but it's also about astrology. It's diving into something that's different and unknown. And so you'll notice people who have a lot of strong Aquarius energy in their chart, they like that stuff. They like this type of stuff. And Pluto in Aquarius, well, Pluto likes the occult, Scorpio, the things that we don't talk about in society, the things that are secret. So yes, astrology is definitely something that is encouraged to learn, and you learn through my platform or through taking a class or through getting a birth chart reading with me or with someone else. It's highly encouraged because it's through these teachings that you're going to get activated. And I can promise you, I got highly activated when I stepped into the class with the and you have to have like a connection with the teacher. And again, I never met my teachers, you know, in person. It's all online. And Aquarius is online. So if you're learning things online, and if you have placements in Aquarius, you're supporting that energy signature that's within you. So when I started listening to Danielle speak, I was like, wow, I'm in another world with you. Like, I feel, I'm not even talking to you, but I feel so freaking heard. Like everything she would say, and it was not even about me or my chart. It was about just things in general, about the astrology and just the signs, and like so many light bulbs. And that's what Aquarius Uranus energy is. Ooh, we're getting breakthroughs. Let's use this time as I'm open to some freaking breakthroughs and some excitement in my life. And that powered me. That got me excited to learn and to actually do this. It was very magical. I've never experienced a teaching, I think, experience, like learning experience to that degree, where I was like, out of left field, out of the blue, I feel completely in love with this type of work and this teacher. Like, amazing. And you could see that this is what she was supposed to be doing. She had such passion, and not for everybody. People who are not ready to hear core truths, because astrology is not just about your sun sign, right? It's about all the signs and the light and the dark. People don't want to know the dark. They just want to know that their sign is the best and they're perfect and their chart is fantastic. When you get a birth chart reading with a good astrologer, they're gonna like reel it into you. Like, you have stuff to work on, my dear. You have aspects here that need your attention. If you want to feel better about yourself and if you want to thrive, your soul is telling you to go this way, and you got to let go of this. And if you're not ready to do that, then that's okay. But then don't say that you are into astrology. You're into you're into yourself, you're into your ego, but not astrology. Astrology, when you completely immerse yourself in it, you have to be ready for the truth. And the truth is like a breath of fresh air when you're ready to receive it. So I highly encourage you to continue opening that door, because only good things can come of it. And again, always be mindful of the astrologers out there who, you know, who teach and all this. I see a lot of these younger astrologers on TikTok and even on here on YouTube, but I feel like there's some depth that's missing. But it's okay. They're doing what they need to do, and they're getting some type of message across. But if you really want astrology to change your life, like the way I'm experiencing it, or I've experienced it ever since I learned it, you gotta continue. You're always learning. It's diving deep and going back. Okay, what's the shadow of this? Yeah, what's the shadow of Aquarius? Aquarius can be very aloof. Did we talk about that? Let's go to the shadow of Aquarius energy, because Pluto is going to bring up the shadow of that energy, whether we like it or not. So let's address it while we're here. Where is my notes here? Yeah, here. So we love Aquarius energy, right? Because it's electricity. It's thinking outside the box. It's shaking things up. It's, this is where we need this energy in life to get things going and to like, okay, can we like do it differently this time? But then there's the flip side. So that we call it the shadows, the lower expression of Aquarius, which is it's detached. So you might feel that air of detachment in the air. Like, oh my God, these people are so cold. Yeah. They fell into the lower expression of Aquarius, emotionally detached and aloof. And that's okay. Give those people space. Let us not try to force ourselves and our will onto people who have a hard time connecting to their heart, because that's the shadow of Aquarius. It doesn't allow itself to connect to the heart space. That's where it has to lean on its opposite sign, Leo. And that's what we teach in astrology, is sometimes you have to go to your opposite sign to learn something that your sign is not giving you. And that's okay, because all the signs are helping you. So leaning into the heart space is a little hard for Aquarius. It's cold, it's aloof, it's detached. It's air energy. It's not fire. This is not water. This is air. So it's not good in relationship to feel their feelings. So in relationships, they have a hard time feeling their feelings and sharing their feelings. It can be a rebel. It could be an extremist. So you'll see Pluto and Aquarius will bring all these extremist ways on how to solve problems, like technology, AI. I'm all for technology, but to what point are we going to utilize it to control us or to do things for us? So there's always that tipping point, that extreme energy with Aquarius is, oh, we got to be careful with science and technology. Like, we don't want to take it too far, but that's where that shadow will creep up. Intellectualizes their feelings, very heady. So again, you might feel this energy. It's the collective, it's you, it's all in you, all around you. And we might be feeling, again, very ungrounded because it's very heady, okay? So again, utilize tools, practice ways to ground the energy. So Cynthia mentioned, walking outdoors, finding activities that really help you come back to your body, help ground. That's important. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to cost a lot. It's just you going out to take, like before the live, I went out for a walk. It was snowing. I just grounded my energy and visualized my feet in the snow. And I just marveled in the beauty of the snow. And I was just very present, listening to my music, taking my breaths. This is what's going to be required because Aquarius is jolting to the nervous system and to the head space. So where was I? I wanted to read some comments here, and then I was gonna. Yeah, Danielle Page. You can find her on Instagram. Danielle. Here, let me write it here. Can I even type in here? I don't know. That's strange. Danielle. So Danielle, Danielle. Her last name Paige. So Paige, Paige on Instagram. If you have Instagram. I don't, but that's where I discovered her back in the day when I was on Instagram. And I'm not sure, she tends to send out newsletters, like emails, notifications to people who are signed up to her email listing as to when she starts teaching again. But you can purchase her classes through her website, daniellepage.com. There might be some classes there that are still available that are probably up for sale. So I hope you got that. For some reason I can't type in the chat. Don't know why, which is completely crazy. Share. I cannot. I used to back in the day when I used to come on. Actually, Cynthia, now that you're here, I'm going to put you as a moderator so that you can, in the future, if you can help me moderate comments and also share my information, my email, my PayPal for donations. Wow, YouTube just changed. So now we have other options here for moderators too. Can review and remove chat messages, hide. Okay, my goodness, let's just do standard moderator. Okay, here we go. So you are now a moderator. Okay, so I somehow cannot, because we don't have access to the chat. This is why moderators can help us add our information, ways to get a hold of us. My email address is in the description box in this live, also in the replay. If you guys want to reach out for a reading, there's options there. Just let me know what offering you would like to schedule with me, and I email you back and we discuss the important stuff. There's my email, there's my PayPal too if you want to leave a donation. Everything's in the description box. But in the future, Cynthia, yeah, I'm going to see if I can put up my stuff so that you could copy and paste it. But if you go into my description, you'll be able to copy and paste it into the comments. If you want to try it, let me know. I'm not sure if you're moderating No, you're a standard. Your moderator role seems to be there. Okay, technical stuff. What else did I want to mention? Yeah, I think I went through these points. You know, Aquarian, Uranian energy, one of the highest vibrations is, you know, allowing the creative influence of this planet, of this sign. They're very creative, they're visionaries, right? Aquarian energy. Now, if you're not an Aquarius and you're like, but I'm not an Aquarius, you have Aquarius in your chart. And this is what I'm going to go through. Every freaking sign has Aquarius in their chart. So that part of your chart will ask you to visualize, be more of a visionary and be more creative in that part of your life that needs what? Change. Uranus in Taurus, that needs some type of liberating energy. You need to be liberated from something. So let's look at the signs and we'll see for each rising sign, because thank you so much, Cynthia. And yes, your moderating thing showed up. Thank you so much. Yeah, it works. Very good. I'll go through each zodiac sign, but bear in mind, these are rising signs. So make sure you know your rising sign, and I'll explain to you what is the area of life. Okay, so Aquarius, for Aries Rising, this is going to be in your 11th house of friends, community, social groups. So there's a big renovation here of your social life, how you get involved in community and causes and different interests with friends and groups. Okay, so issues of control. Pluto is about control, power dynamics, influence. The power can emerge with social connections and associations. So you're learning your desires on social levels. What are your true desires? Your desire to connect with networks, with social groups might come up. And it might bring up stuff for you, right? So for you, it's the 11th house of groups. Taurus Rising. This is going to be a time of upheaval of your ambitions, because this is your 10th house. Top of the house. So if you have a Taurus rising, Aquarius is on the top. This is about renovation, dismantling stuff about your ambitions, your career, your reputation, and your long-term goals. Okay, so you might connect with ambitions you previously never knew you had. Aquarius on top of your chart, this is different. This is uncharted territory. So give yourself time to discover and to be excited about something that you will do, but you thought you'd never do. Yeah, that's Aquarius. Gemini rising, a time of upheaval in your belief system, your worldview, your higher education, your outlook of life and of yourself, subjects of interest, a sense of adventure. You might want to travel a little bit more and do something different. This is your 9th house. So the 9th house is really about adventures and journeys, but it doesn't have to be journeys like in a new like foreign land. It could be, but it's going to require you to really be more open-minded. That 9th house requires open-mindedness, seeing things from a larger perspective, which is interesting because Gemini has a hard time with that. Gemini is more the details and the what's in front of me. It's mercurial. It's like, this is what it is. These are the words. These are the facts. But now it's like there's a bit of a dismantling of your belief systems here. Okay, Cancer rising. Interesting. So this is your 8th house. Ouch. I have to say, Cancer risings, I feel, will have it a little harder just because the 8th house is Plutonic. It's about getting to those deep-rooted fears. So you'll experience feelings, desires, things that drive you that you've never had during this cycle. Power plays with other people, matters of control, habits, dependencies. Also, the 8th house is the house of debt, loans, inheritances, shared finances, and intimacy, you know, with others. So this is an interesting phase for you. This is a 20-year phase, but it's giving you a little bit of an understanding of what's coming. I feel like maybe you might need to sell something. If you have debts or if you can't afford something here, time to sell. Like Pluto will support that sale. Matters of control, things that you've been holding on to in terms of financial matters that you don't want to let go of, time to let go. Pluto's like, we got a new way of doing things in this area. For Leo Rising, it's about a dismantling of your partnerships, your one-on-one interactions. This is a 7th house. So commitments, you know, relating to people on a one-on-one basis, but it doesn't have to be romantic connections. It could be just one-on-one. It could be with your clients, your patients, your students, a friend, a relationship with sibling. That's going through a renovation, right? So you're really meeting this Pluto energy through your significant other, if you do have one. Virgo, this is in your 6th house of work, routines, your day job, your health, your wellness, and habits, your daily habits of how you're supporting your health, your wellness. Okay, so what are you doing on a day-to-day basis? What are your routines? Healthy habits, healthy practices here are, and practices that you haven't yet utilized, things that you never done before because maybe it wasn't a part of your upbringing or a part of your social group. Now you're having to think outside the box and say, okay, this is how I'm gonna confront my day-to-day, and this is how I'm going to take care of my health and my well-being, and this is how I'm going to do my day-to-day stuff. We said Libra. Did I say Libra? No. Next, Libra Rising. A time for connecting with deeper ambitions and desires related to creative, because this is in your 5th house of Leo. So this is creative or romantic urges, leisure time, and recreation. Sharing and expressing yourself with others can be in focus, and you're gonna have to do this differently. So for example, I had my Pluto in Capricorn in the last 20 plus years in my 5th house. Like you guys, Libra, you will be going through this for the next 20 years in self-expression. And so the way you express yourself, but also how you express your gifts. You see, I started my YouTube channel when Pluto was at its latest degrees of Capricorn. So at the beginning of that journey in that sign, you might not feel very compelled to make any changes. But over time, Pluto is constantly going to put pressure on you here to, like your control issues around, why aren't you expressing yourself? Why aren't you having fun? Is this really fun? Because that's what Pluto is going to do. It's going to dismantle your idea of fun, 5th house. The way you entertain yourself is going to change over the next 20 years. The way you approach romantic interactions, 5th house, that's also romance. Your romantic relationships, if you have any, are going to come up for you to purge. And I speak out of, from experience, because this is what I went through. Is when Pluto is in your 5th, it's like, okay, well, you had all these romantic experiences that were fun and that were maybe sometimes short-lived or not. But at the end of the day, we're helping you transform, because Pluto's about transformation, about what do you truly desire in your romantic relationships. And are you truly being authentic? Because authenticity, 5th house, Leo, is about self-expression of our truth, of who we truly are. Are you being authentic? And no, I can say that I wasn't. At the beginning of this transit, I was learning. I was going through a lot, because Pluto is like, well, you're going to, again, attract people who are attached to that Plutonic darker shadow that you haven't looked at. Issues of control might come up, jealousy, manipulation, how to get people to love me. That's all manipulation. People don't want to admit it, but when you're trying your hardest to get someone to like you, you're being manipulative. You're not being yourself. Because if you're yourself and you're authentic, and you're like, fuck it, if they like me, they like me. If not, too bad. And that's Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy can help you here by saying, you know what, you don't like me, too bad. I'm staying true to myself. I'm being authentic. So you're a Libra rising, Cynthia. So this is great news. Your Pluto and Aquarius in the fifth. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna connect to your gifts and you're gonna see your gifts and the way you express yourself won't be the same. It's gonna be completely different at the end of this transit. But lean into that and don't be afraid of diving deep the emotions. You know, in different ways. You're gonna have to access those deeper fears of what's holding me back from real romantic truthful connections, if that's your choice, if that's the route you choose, or what's holding me back from truly expressing myself, if I'm a writer, if I'm an artist or a dancer or whatever it is that I'm, because it's the arts, it's self-expression, this type of area of life. It's all about how I express myself creatively. So that's going to change. And what's holding me back? Deep fears. So that's what Pluto does when it hits this area of life. Scorpio rising. This is a renovation in your personal and emotional life. This is the fourth house at the bottom of the chart. Yeah, this is your private life, your personal life in the home with family will be a focus. So again, more attention to your personal world, which you have to watch for obsessiveness and controlling issues. So because it's the fourth house, we're at the bottom of the chart, we're getting deeper into the emotions. Our family members or the people we live with they will stir up all kinds of control stuff within power dynamics, right? So, oh yeah, when I see Pluto in water houses like this one, so Scorpio risings have their Pluto transiting Aquarius in the fourth house. This is a water placement, the water house, because it's ruled essentially by Cancer. And then we talked about earlier Cancer risings having Pluto now travel through their eighth house of Scorpio, again a water sign. Those are hard. That's like diving really into the emotions. That's going to require some great shadow work and some great inner work, which is great, which is what your soul plans. So give yourself a break, but also know that it's okay to feel these darker, deeper emotions. Sagittarius rising. So here we have a strong focus on your personal interest. This is the third house of Gemini. So maybe the way you, I guess, interact with people in your day-to-day. The third house is like communication, daily activities, what you're interested in, how you communicate. Communication issues can also be a problem. So how you connect and communicate and the topics that you like to learn and explore can go through deep changes. So expect to be interested in different things over the next 20 years. Capricorn, your focus here, Pluto is traveling through your house of money, which is the second house of income, how you earn your income, personal belongings, the things that you hold on to. Yeah, your natural talents, your self-worth, everything that is tied to value, right? So that's Pluto going through deep changes and renovations in that part of your chart. Aquarius rising here is a time for deep changes in your personality because this is in your first house. So the first house is the house of you, is the self. How you project your personality onto others, your image, also your health, your physical health, and your attitude towards starting something new. That's the first house. It's the house of Aries. So being okay with doing something new that's completely out of this world, and you might change physically, actually, with Pluto in your first house as an Aquarius rising. Your physical appearance will change. You might not, I guess, associate yourself to your older self the way you looked. Yeah, there's definitely an attitude adjustment here with Aquarius rising. And then finally, Pisces rising. Here, Pluto will be renovating your 12th house. So this is How do you feel about your downtime? The 12th house is about solitude. It's about your mental health. It's about your charity work, endings, closing karmic endings, closures. It's also the house of secret enemies. So that's interesting. Endings, right? So karma, the afterlife. It's also our subconscious. So it's like a really big, deep renovation here, bringing out the big traumas from past lives, and tapping into spirituality, really helping yourself go through this by leaning on God. 12th house spirituality is like we're transcending, we're in communion with God. And that's going to help with these subconscious issues that you're going to be going through with Pluto being there. So that's what I have for you all from Aries to Pisces. I'm going to put the timestamps. I have to work on this later. This is going to take me a while, but it's okay. So from Aries to Pisces, that's what is going on with Pluto in your chart. So it's a specific, I'm using the whole signs house system, as we call it. I know other astrologers use Placidus, and that's okay if you do. But I'm basing this on the whole sign. So yeah, every sign has its own house. In Placidus, some of the houses are shared with 2 or 3 signs. So this is what's going down for Pluto in Aquarius in your chart. If you guys have any questions, if you want to book a reading with me, we can move through this energy a little bit more. And again, there's more to Pluto transiting Aquarius in your chart. There's all sorts of other transits going on, and the aspects that they make are also very important. And the ruling planet here of Aquarius is Uranus. So what's your Uranus doing in your chart? That's activating your Uranus as well. Where is it, in what place, and in what house, and what aspect? How is it interacting with other placements too? Is very important. So I'm going to end this with, we are at 140, okay, with a general card reading, because then I need to give my throat a break. And we will end it there. And I'm really happy I came on and did this. I know not a lot of people are on, but it's okay. I always have faith that, you know, spirit always leads people to the right place at the right time. Okay, yes, these were the energy oracle cards that I wanted to use initially. So here we go. All right, thank you, angels, guides, and ancestors of the highest light and resonance, for surrounding me in this reading and for protecting this space from any lower vibrations that are not in alignment with our highest good. Thank you for giving the collective messages that they need at this time, that are part of their ascension process and that are for their highest and best good, and that will bring them blessings, them and to everyone who is involved. Amen. Okay. Yeah, this card keeps on coming up, doesn't it? Okay. Like I said, this has to do with the Uranus and Taurus. Okay. Yep. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. This is about the, let's show it to you. Here is the sacral chakra. So yellow, you see how the yellow, it's the sacral chakra, which is connected to our intimacy, how we allow ourselves to get close in a space of vulnerability to others, but to ourselves. Like how can we get closer to ourselves that way, in a space of safe vulnerability? And it also speaks of creativity. So the more we're connected to our expression and like really going there with self-expression, our drive to create goes up. So we have this willingness to create more things because we're connected to that part of us that likes to be in that flow and that's not afraid of being vulnerable, because this is about intimacy. This can speak also about sexuality, how we're giving away our energy sexually with the sacral chakra. Some people need a good cleansing from top to bottom, but especially in this sacral chakra energy center. And it's where we hold our emotions as well. So all these emotions like judgment, guilt, shame, it's all in there. And it doesn't help us make decisions. And this is why the next card appeared, which is indecision. Because that energy center probably needs some balancing, or probably needs your attention. How are you creating? This is about creatorship. How are you opening that line of communication, that relationship, that co-partnering relationship with the divine to create? It doesn't have to be grandiose. Every day, how are you creating a better life for yourself? How are you creating a more exciting and joyful and grounded life? How are you invoking more artistry and music and just ways to get out of your day-to-day everyday issues? How do you use artistry and creativity as a way to heal? Because that would really help you reposition yourself, okay, and really help you with, like, okay, this is the path. When I'm indecisive, it's like I'm not connected to that part of me that wants to create something, that thinks it can create something. Now, then we have contracts. So this is, this is legalities, contracts with other people. These are, a contract that you sign for a job, marriage, mortgage, loan, stuff like that. Yeah, you see, we have the card envy and strategy. And this is the energy that I was talking about before. Some of you will need to downgrade a little bit because strategy is coming through. So you see here with your contracts, you might have to let go of a contract because it's not in your favor anymore. It's too expensive. It's bleeding too much money. Or this has to do with a relationship or a job or a house, whatever it is. You have to get out of this lack mentality. The envy card is about everybody has more than me. I never have enough. I'm always in a place of lack. I never have enough. You have to get out of this mindset, this energy, and you got to start planning. You got to start being more realistic with your goals. If you see that right now, contractually, you can't afford to keep up with the payments of this contract. I'm just giving you an example, but this is coming up for the collective because Uranus is going to be in Taurus, stationing direct. So it's going to bring up these things. How can I get out of this mentality, this belief that I'll never have enough? I'll never have enough. It'll never be good enough. You need to be more strategic and realistic about your short-term goals. This is about short-term goals, not long-term. We got to think short-term. Every day, what am I doing? What's sustainable? Okay? And I got to take action. I got to be led by Spirit. Spirit's going to give me guidance. It's going to show me, oh, maybe this person can help me find something better. Maybe I have to be more open. Yeah, people, community. You see how the astrology is reflecting back to us in the cards? People, community, reaching out to the right person that you're guided to reach out to that will help you get there. That will help you step out of your comfort zone. Because the Guardian and the Gate, again, this card came out in one of my readings this week, I believe, this last week, is about playing it safe. Something about the community that you are in, the group that you are in, doesn't allow you, the mindset of the group, this is like a mindset group. This is like cult energy. Like in this cult, this is how we think. This is how we go about our life. This is how we behave. I mean, this is cultural. This feels very cultural. A cultural mindset where we don't want to change things up. We don't want to get out of our comfort zones. We don't want to come out of the unfamiliar. But with what I just said, Aquarius and Uranus is like, no, we're shaking things up. You got to get out of your comfort zone. It's time. And at the bottom of the deck, we have appreciation. Can I be more grateful for the now moment? Can I be more grateful for what I actually do have? A lot of people don't take the time to look around. Look at what I have. Look at what God's given me. Look at what I was able to do with the help of the divine. Look at what, look at what I accomplished. Look at what I have. Not what I don't have, what I have. What is here in the now moment. So it's really fostering an attitude of gratitude. That's going to be very, very important. Okay, so let's end with the Animal Spirit deck, which is a new deck. So I don't know all these cards because I'm getting to know them. What are the general collective energies that we need to know about? Interesting. Okay, we both have Earth. This is Earth. Okay, I'm going to get my book here. The Animal Spirit guidebook here. I just bought this deck. And I'm getting to know these beautiful spirit animals. And I haven't come across the snake just yet. But you can see the snake. Ooh, that feels like a kundalini. Ooh, this is Aquarian freaking energy. Okay, so as much as it says Earth, I'm getting Kundalini. So you see the Kundalini, if for some that don't know, it's the, oh boy, how do I explain this? This is not my forte, but the Kundalini rises from the, oh, I guess I got reconnected. Okay, I'm back. The Kundalini rises from our root chakra because we're experiencing some sort of awakening. Oof. And that stems from the root, right? So this is shaking things up. That is for sure. Come on, snake. Where are you at? Where are you at? Is it in alphabetical order, maybe? Maybe. That's weird. Yep, gotcha. Okay. Sneaky snake. Okay. Guardian of unawakened magic. Yeah, it's an awakening. That's what I was saying. Creative potential. This is tapping into your creative potential that I was talking about when it comes to Uranus and Aquarius. Okay, so it's like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Get creative and tap into the creator because you are co-creating your reality with the divine. So get creative and be open to it because a lot of us are not in alignment with our soul's journey. We gotta learn how to be more creative. Find different solutions. Non-traditional. You can't go the traditional route for certain things. So this is what the snake is saying. It's untapped potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. What did I say? It is said that Shakti, yeah, that's what I was saying. Our creative life force lies dormant at the base of our spine. That was the Kundalini. I knew I had some type of gift here. Okay, dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Base of your spine, that's like at the bottom, root chakra, okay? Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. There we go. What would life look like if you woke it up? Woke this potential in you? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. Oh, that feels like Uranus energy. Uranus and Pluto in Aquarius. It's like, it's time. You have untapped potential. Gotta go this way. And you're forced to do this. With the deer. Okay, I'll finish here with the beautiful deer. Also an earth symbol here. These are animals that exist on Earth. Okay. Interesting. Rabbit, mouse, fox, rabbit, raccoon, Deer. Okay, here we go. Untapped potential when it comes to, yeah, your loving, this is a yin energy, your loving, intuitive, graceful side. It's the mother, it's the empress. So the deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. Yeah. This is, you know, really looking into that untapped energy, that untapped potential when it comes to your intuitive side. The deer represents the feminine aspect of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but it especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Being more receptive and compassionate and nurturing. Well, this feels like the inner child. But you see, it's untapped potential when it comes to leaning on the feminine energy, that nurturing, that self-nurturing, that self-compassion, that loving energy that is going to be required. You're going to have to give yourself so much love and compassion and attention during these times that will feel, again, destabilizing, jolting. How can you give yourself those moments of, hey, it's okay, I know things are hard, but how can I can access my potential by being more nurturing with myself, by being more graceful, by giving myself more grace, just like a mother, a healthy mother, would do with their child, right? So untapped potential within the feminine energies. You know, everybody expects, you know, to find a partner and to have that partner nurture them and give them all, but are you doing that for yourself? And there's a lot of people in relationships that are not doing that for themselves. They are literally in a relationship based on a parent and child dynamic. Because if you don't have a partner, what happens? Can you nurture yourself? Can you take care of your emotions when you're jolted and when things are stirring up within you? You can't rely on an outside person to do that for you. That person is not your parent. You have to reparent your inner child. So this is another message coming up. Untapped potential, the potential to nurture your inner child, to reparent your inner child, to be there for your inner child. And then we have the swan. So this is definitely talking about relationships at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is one-on-one relationships, based on what I can remember about that one. Swan. Yeah, let's take a look at it very quickly. Oh, this is creativity. Oh, I like this. Effortless creativity, sensitive. That's the sacral chakra. Sensitive mystic. It's the sacral chakra. Elegant power. This is about elegance in everything we do. It's that poisonous. Really bringing in that energy of, hey, everything's going to be okay. Yeah, you go through the emotion, but allow yourself to still be graceful. It doesn't have to be maddening and aggressive. This is about being more graceful. So the swan represents heightened creativity in Hindu mythology. The goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry. Wasn't I talking about that? Artistry and creativity rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. Wow. So yeah, a lot of time spent in communion with the divine here in order to really tap into that creative artist, the inner artist. So interesting. A lot of you are going to be creating stuff, writing stuff, creating a podcast, writing a recipe book, I heard. Yeah, there's just untapped potential here that a lot of people are going to have to, okay, like a lot of people are not going to be working full time anymore because of the circumstances of their job or whatever, of the economy, but they're actually going to utilize that as a creative moment, a moment where they really don't take it for granted. If you're given time off, right? If you even are you have time off now, or if you have to resign or you have to be let go from your job, how can you use your potential now to really step into your creative abilities? A lot of people are going to need this energy. It's going to be super, super encouraged. If you go down that road and you allow yourself to just explore, it's going to be highly, highly supported by spirit, because your soul is like, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I'm going to heal. This is how I'm going to help heal others. This is how I'm going to make my world and other people's world a better place. And I'm not going to rush. Does the swan look like she's rushing into anything? No. She's taking her time. She's creating. She's graceful. And with the deer, I'm nurturing myself as I go along. I'm using the power of my creativity to nurture myself, to be there for myself. All right, you guys. So I'm going to end this on there, and I like that it's 3-3 on top. 3 people with 3 likes. I love it. So if you are here, please like this video so that it can circulate through the tribe. Like I said, I'm an old channel that is reinventing itself, and so I'd like to get my messages out there. If you're watching this on the replay, can you please like the video, comment, let me know what you're experiencing. If this helped you in any way, if it provided you with some insight, share your sun, rising, moon sign in the comments. Let me know if what I shared was helpful, and if it resonated, because this is Pluto in this placement in your house, in that house, so this is gonna be felt whether you like it or not. So I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like a personal reading, my offerings are in the description box. I believe Cynthia here in the comments also mentioned my PayPal. Donations are appreciated. I will continue to show up here on these lives, give you my 2 cents of the energy that I'm picking up on astrologically or intuitively. And I'd like to also continue reading cards, and maybe read cards for all the signs and see where that brings us. This was an absolute joy and pleasure, to be here. I'm really happy that I committed to this and I showed up, and I am feeling great about being of service again. So thank you for being here and for supporting my channel by liking, subscribing, and commenting. And I will see you on the next post here on my community section. I always update you guys on some energy updates. I give you tools there, inspirational quotes, things that help you move through this energy more gracefully, more compassionately. So have a great evening or day, night, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you very soon, sending you lots of blessings. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for being here and for being my moderator. Thank you so much.